Hello everyone, welcome to Christiaan's Rhythm Workout episode 5. And in today's episode, we're going to take a look at how to play rhythm for the song Blue Skies. If this is the first time you're watching an episode in this series, it's all about how to play rhythm, or at least how I play rhythm for certain standards that you might want to play in jam sessions or during gigs. And the purpose of this series is not to learn how to play rhythm, the mechanics, because I made videos about that already, and I will link those videos both in the description and the comments, but just to teach you specific songs and then give you the opportunity to practice it with a backing track with only bass on it. And the trick is that the bass is playing half notes or 2 notes per bar, and you have to play 4. So because the bass is programmed to a steady beat, you'll get a good workout becoming a very tight rhythm player, and that's what you want. Now, I have this little speaker with the bass backing track. I can let you hear what it sounds like. But my speaker is all the way down here and the microphone is here, so the bass might not be as loud as it is when you are practicing yourself. And the bass backing track will be available to the $10 and up members on Patreon. And not only this backing track, but of course also the previous 4 episodes. Let's get started with this song, Blue Skies. Now, the beginning of Blue Skies is basically 4 bars of E minor, but with this one note that keeps going down. It's something that you hear often in jazz standards, for example, Bye Bye Blackbird or Dinah. To give you an idea about what I'm talking about, it sounds like this, right? So we're in E minor and you get... I bet you've heard it before. There are several ways of playing it, though you could think about E minor for the whole 4 bars. There is a very easy way to play it, where you play 1, 5, 1, 4, and both the 5 and the 4 are dominant chords. And that's what I wrote down here in the first A. E minor 7, it's not really 1 chord, but the song is actually in G, so this is the 6th chord. So you get E minor 7, B7, E minor 7, A7. That's something you can play instead of playing only E minor. And that works even though maybe the bass player is playing... You could play your E minor 7, B7, E minor 7, A7. So that sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice my 7 chords. I like to play this voicing with the 2/3, which some people find odd, but I like it because it focuses on the lowest 4 strings. And when I play rhythm, I like to play the lowest 4 strings primarily, even though my fingers might be on more strings. Right, my pinky here is on the B string for the E minor 7, but you don't really hear that. That's because I'm aiming with my right hand for those lowest 4 strings. Then we get the 1, 6, 2, 5 in G, and the 6th chord is a dominant chord. So we get G6, E7. Again, I have my fingers on all the strings, but I'm primarily playing the lowest 4 strings. A minor 7, D7, G. 1 bar, B7. And then we go to the 2nd A. So let me first play that first A with the backing track. Let's go to the 2nd A. Of course, in the 2nd A you could do the same thing. You could again play E minor 7, B7, E minor 7, A7. But I wanted to give you some different options. So here I chose to play this typical Stochler-Rosenberg thing, something that he likes to do, is where he plays for the first chord E minor 6, and this voicing with the 6 on the bottom. Then, which is E minor major 7, but still the 6 is still there. So but you get this descending note from E to D sharp. Then you play, which is just a G bar chord, right, without the bass. And then it functions as E minor 7 to A7. Notice the note that keeps descending. And you can always do this, even if the bass maybe is playing E minor, B7, E minor, A7. Maybe the bass is playing, right? It's really playing E minor, B7, E minor, A7. You could play, and it's kind of nice to change the way you are playing these chords, especially with this very recognizable chord progression. So, and then the second 4 bars again is the 1, 6, 2, 5, G. That's the same. And then in the final bar we get a quick D7 on B3 and 4 because we're gonna go back to G for the bridge, which is quite unusual. The bridge is very unusual. We'll talk about it. Let me play the first 2 A's for you with the backing track. This bridge is unique. I don't know any other song with a similar bridge. So it goes to that 4 minor chord, which is C minor in G, C minor 6, which looks like F7, right? It's the second chord, but notice that my second finger is not fretting 2 notes, what I would be doing if it would be F7, I would be playing with the F under my second finger, but now I'm just muting that string. And then I have to go back to G6. That's the bass is playing G, C, G, C, G. But if I would be doing that, I would have to play, which is doable, but there's an easier way. You can instead go to G with a B in the bass. Even if the bass is just playing a G, it still works. So what I would be doing is I basically play 3 notes, even though the C minor 6 again has all my fingers written down in the diagram, but that's because that's where my fingers are, but I'm only playing 2, and again, C minor 6, G, D7, G. And you get a really nice voice leading, where you hear this one note, this E flat, go to D, back to E flat, to D, to C, to B. And the second 4 bars are very similar, again. But now, of course, we have to go to B7 to go to the third A. Now, for this B7, I also sometimes like to play D sharp diminished, which is on the middle strings 6, 7, 5, 7, or just B7. Both are fine. So let me play from the beginning until here. Something to keep in mind is that the bridge with the fast chord changes, that it's very important to keep the swing in the right hand going, which basically means that the 2 and the 4 needs a slight accent. And you might already know that, but it is very easy to lose sight of when you have to change chords all the time and focus all your attention on the left hand. But it's better to keep that right hand intact and miss some chords in the left hand than have all the chords correct but lose the swing, right? You want to have that accent, so. Let's say I missed the chords, I missed that C minor B and I'm just muting the strings. That's still better than having all the chords but losing it. Maybe I would play it. Right, I'm just muting the chords because I was missing the chords, but because the rhythm keeps going, it's still okay. Of course, it would be better if you would also hit the chords. Let's go to the third A. For the third A, I have another variation where you play E minor 7 to D sharp diminished, and then E minor 7, A7. That's the same as the first A, and then again. So let me play 2 choruses, and the first chorus I'm gonna play exactly what's in the sheet, but the second chorus I'm gonna mix it up. I'm not gonna keep exactly to what's written here. I'm gonna play the same kinds of chords, but maybe I'll do the second variation for the first A. And I will be shifting the chords around, which is something that I talk about in my rhythm tutorials. Again, links for that are in the description. So, here we go. There you go, some really tasteful ways of playing these chords to Blue Skies. Again, if you want to have access to the PDF with all the chord diagrams, you can join my Patreon at the $5 level. If you want to have access to the backing track and all past backing tracks, you'll have to join at the $10 level. Or, of course, you could just enjoy these lessons for free and look at the screen for the chord diagrams. If you like the video, like it, maybe subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!